golden boxes. Prophet Isa is in the company of another man. So he says to the man, here's some money, take it, go buy some bread from town. I want you to buy 3 loaves of bread. So the man takes the money. It was enough to buy 3 loaves. He goes to town. On the way back, he says, well, if I go back, there are 3 loaves. I'm going to end up getting 1.5. I'm really hungry. So he eats one of the loaves, goes back to Prophet Isa, to Jesus, with only 2 loaves. So Jesus says to him, where's the 3rd loaf? He said, what 3rd loaf? You only gave me enough money for 2 loaves. He said, I gave you enough money for 3 loaves. What did you do with it? Did you eat it? He said, no, I didn't. You never gave me enough money. So then Isa does something to make this man talk. He raises a dead person. He resurrects a dead man. In other words, he illustrates to that person that, listen, I'm a prophet of God. I can raise the dead. I can tell when somebody's lying. So the man is persistent. He says, no, you only gave me enough money for 2 loaves, and here are your 2 loaves. The prophet Isa, he notices a deer walking past. He points at the deer, and the deer begins to talk. Assalamu alayka ya ruh Allah ya Isa ibn Maryam. Another miracle. To show the man that, listen, I can tell when you're lying. I gave you 3 coins to buy 3 loaves. The man is persistent. So the prophet walks past 3 big giant boxes full of gold. He says, well, there are 3 boxes here. I'll take one. I'll give you one. And I'll give the 3rd one to the person who ate the 3rd loaf. The man suddenly said, I was the one, sorry, I forgot. The prophet said to him, you know what? Take all 3 boxes. I don't need them. So the man tried to carry the boxes. They were so big, they were so heavy, you couldn't carry any of them. So he said to Prophet Isa, why don't you just move along? I'll catch up with you later. He stayed with the money. You know how they say they catch monkeys in Africa by putting a fruit in the cage, and the monkey comes and sticks his hands through the cage, holds on to the fruit, but then doesn't let go. And the monkey can see the hunter coming to get him, but he's got that fruit and he doesn't want to let go. And as long as he's got the fruit in his hand, he can't bring his hand out of the cage. So stays as long as the hunter needs to come and to grab onto him. A lot of people are like that. I can't carry the gold, so I'm going to stay with the gold. I'll be right here if you need me. So he stayed with the money. Then 3 people come. They see this one single man with 3 giant boxes full of gold. They conspire against him. They kill him. Then 2 of them say to the 3rd, why don't you go buy us some food? We'll stay here until you come. Obviously, we can't carry the money, so the gold, so we're just going to wait for you. He goes, he buys the food. He decides that, well, 3 boxes of gold is better than just the 1, so he poisons the food. He comes back, he offers Prophet Isa alayhi salam walks past the same spot on his way back. He sees 4 dead bodies. Then a revelation is sent to him, the tradition tells us. A revelation comes down telling Prophet Isa, there are 1,600 men who died at this very spot and in order to acquire these very 3 boxes of gold. 1,600 people over the same boxes. And they just kept dying one after the other, killing each other, conspiring against each other. The slavery of money. Slavery of wealth. Let's conclude. Al-Hurr bin Yazid al-Riyahi liberated himself from several types of slavery. He was able to do that, which made him so great. We mentioned the example of Umar ibn Sa'd. Umar ibn Sa'd wasn't able to free himself from the shackles of slavery, which makes him cursed for the rest of time. Whereas Al-Hurr ibn Sa'd Al-Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyahi was so powerful, he was so strong, he was able to break free, which makes him so special to the point that people drive or walk for 6 kilometers outside the city of Karbala just to pay him their respects and their salutations. Had he not done that, he would have been the object of damnation for all eternity. We would have gathered here tonight just to curse him. What did he do? He broke free from the slavery of money. He was a rich man. He was the chief of his tribe. He was a powerful man. He turned his back to all of that. He broke free from the slavery of authority. He was the commander of the army. And yet he broke free from that. He broke free from the trend. He broke free by swimming against the current, which is very difficult, brothers and sisters, extremely difficult. He looked at those 30,000 people, some of whom were his own men. He could see the massive, colossal size of the army. And look at the other side, there was Imam al-Hussein with a bunch of his brothers and sisters and kids and women and children. He knew they wouldn't stand a chance. And yet he broke free. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. In fact, suddenly one of his companions says, I looked at him and he was shivering. I said, what's wrong? I've never seen you like this. If they'd asked me who is the most courageous man in the city of Kufa, lama adawtuk, I'd never go past you. I'd say, Al-Hurr has to be that courageous man. Why are you shivering? He said, I can see myself having to choose between hellfire and the heavens. Ara nafsi bayna al-jannati wan-nar. You don't want me to shake? I'm shaking uncontrollably because this decision is by far the most difficult decision I have ever had to make. وَلَا أَخْتَارُ عَلَى الْجَنَّةِ شَيْئًا. But you know what? I'll never choose anything over heaven and paradise. I know it's hard, but I want paradise. I have a long-term view. I can see where this is heading. I may achieve a tactical win here. A tactical defeat is all there is. I want to go to heaven. And so he goes. Another great man, inshallah we'll return to Hurr, but another great man who was able to break free from the chains of slavery of all kinds was Habib ibn Mudahhar. Imam al-Hussein sends him a special message. Imam al-Hussein sent 2 messages, 2 types of messages. One was to call on people to come and support him. And through that he got 72 companions. Another was specifically sent to an individual called Habib ibn Mudahhar. To him specifically, can I, Mahdi Modarresi, can I be the man whom when the 12th Imam appears, sends me a special message and says, Ya Mahdi Modarresi ibn Hadi, I want you to come and support me. Can I be that man? Can you? He sends him a special message. Habib is sitting in Kufa. He just sat down with his wife. They're about to start eating dinner when someone knocks at the door. He goes to open the door. His wife says he returned back while weeping. He was crying and he was holding a piece of paper. I said to him, what's wrong? He said, don't worry about it. I said, what's wrong? Come and eat. He said, no, I can't. Orders have come. My master Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is asking for my help. I gotta go. At the time, Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad had issued a royal decree. If anyone is seen to leave the city of Kufa, they are to be executed immediately. And so what he does is, he sends his slave, along with his horse, to the outskirts of the city of Kufa, and says to his slave, he doesn't tell him anything, he's using the utmost secrecy. He says to him, I want you to go out there and wait for me, I'm going to join you later. Just hold on to my horse until I come and get it. That's all I want you to do.